Barton Springs and a new species. Please welcome R.T. Kilgore.
Human connection. Wren watched the multicolored burgundies diving in and out of the cold water of Barton Springs, like dragonflies that had been hit with the magnifying ray, but the beam had only hit their luminescent appendages, leaving their tiny black bodies to stand as a minuscule link between their expansive glowing wings. The burgundy species had adopted Earth as their new colony in May of 2032, and by 2052, nearly 25% of the human population had been claimed by a burgundy. Humans had yet to decipher where the flying aliens had lived prior to this, and the majority of people had stopped caring a decade ago. Wren huffed at her current situation. Why did she get herself into these things? She had no intention of doing more than dipping her toes into the frigid pool, and even less intentions of taking her cover-up off. Ponce and the rest of the burgundies splashed across the surface of the Emerald Lake, gliding with their voluminous wingspans glittering in the summer sun. Wren watched a topless woman being lifted from the waters by her burgundy companion, and admired the woman's ample breasts as she bounced to a landing at Wren's eye level on the pavement. It's so great to see so many pretty burgundy. I feel so empowered being surrounded by them. Wren would have none of this cliche banter. They were just another group of boring 30-somethings that showed up at these burgundy gatherings in an attempt to trick themselves into thinking they were superior to all the unclaimed. The whole thing had only succeeded in proving to Wren that she prefers being home alone with Ponce. Wren's burgundy sailed over to her where she sat with her feet dangling in the pool. The woman with the large breasts had moved on after being ignored. Wren leaned into the multiple thin filaments Ponce reached out to caress her with, and was calmed by the silky fibers. Wren had easily convinced herself that she did not need emotional support from a human. But Ponce couldn't do the things that Wren was currently imagining doing to the brown-skinned Adonis surfing towards her on the wingspan of a massive burgundy. For that kind of attention, Wren would have to move past the message boards. "Your burgundy is huge," was the best she could do as the woman's muscular frame began to pass her by. Smiling at getting Wren's attention, the woman hopped off the large burgundy's wings, splashing Wren as she cannonballed into the water. Black braids burst through the surface of the blue spring. There was contagious laughter, and Wren was hooked. "You needed to cool off, I could tell." The woman lifted herself out of the water with toned arms. "You'll get a funny tan if you keep that thing on." She tugged at the strap of Wren's cover-up. "I won't tan at all." Wren dove into her bag and fished out a large tube of SPF 90. "Damn, girl, you're serious." The dark woman snatched the bottle from Wren's hand and examined the medical-level sunscreen. "But smart. I'm Lily. And you?" Lily handed the bottle back and waited for Wren to reply. "Wren, there hasn't been any scientific evidence about them curing cancer, so I'm not going to risk it. Wren nodded at Ponce and hoped Lily wasn't another burgundy extremist. "As you shouldn't," Lily gave her a sly smile. "The burgundies aren't going to magically solve all our problems the way they say. I love Satan, but they're not a cure-all. My life still sucks the majority of the time." They both giggled at this truth. Yeah, Wren was starting to relax. "I wish more people in the population were open to their claim. Maybe they'd stop making such stupid assumptions about how a burgundy affects our lives." "What's the weirdest thing you've been asked since you were... What's your burgundy's name?" "Ponce. It showed up about 2 years ago and... Well..." Wren hesitated. This Lily girl was mega cute. "Come on, mine was..." Lily made air quotes and mimicked a bro's demeanor. "Do you think your burgundy has moved you past racial profiling?" She laughed, throwing her thick roped hair around her shoulders. I replied, "Obviously not, douchebag." Lily exploded with laughter, and Wren was pulled further into lust. Through her giggles, Wren answered, "A guy actually asked me if Ponce could make me come, if I was going to marry my burgundy." Lily stopped laughing long enough to give Wren a "you have got to be kidding me" look, and they both fell over in delight. Oh my God, it sucks. I don't even want to hang out with unclaimed anymore. I know it's pretentious and completely falling into the stereotype the world has given us, but they just don't get it anymore. No, I understand. And lots of other claimed I've met feel the same way. Exactly. That's why I hate these things. Lily watched her burgundies circling Ponce for a while. So, you're seriously the only person I've met that I wanted to talk to for longer than like 30 seconds since I've been here. Lily looked Ren straight in the eye without a hint of irony. Want to go? We could grab some tacos and head back to my place. Are you a fan of Obsidian? Holy shit, I love Obsidian. I've already watched the 3rd season, but I will totally rewatch it with you. Ren was saying the words before she realized it. Now she had to follow through and actually spend some alone time with a human being. The prospect started to make her sweat. Sweet, let's hit it. With that, Lily stood up and whistled to Satan. Come on, cutie, I'll buy the tacos. Lily stopped at the food truck parked outside of the pool entrance and got Ren 2 beef tacos and some churros for dessert. It all seemed so easy for her that it started to feel easy to Ren. Follow me, but here's my number just in case. I don't want you slipping through my fingers. With a wink, Lily put her info into Ren's phone and hopped onto her lime green Vespa. A confidence melted over Ren, and she suddenly couldn't tell if she wanted to be with Lily or simply be her. Either way, she was already in her car following Lily's scooter towards Riverside. Ponce curled up in the seat beside her, wings wrapped around its tiny body like a glowing burrito of light and black rope. Thank you.